Well, ladies and gentlemen, straight away we will be moving on to our next session now, which is clean energy options for low-income households. Now, the general manifestation of clean energy is through products, especially in the context of low-income households. How do we address the need for a more holistic approach through construction materials, energy audit of low-income households, and lifestyle requirements rather than random products? Now we have with us a distinguished panel here who will be discussing about the same. We'll be inviting them here on stage. Our moderator for the session is Mr. Chandra Bhushan, Deputy Director General, Center for Science and Environment, India. The panelists, Ms. Dinthi An Tuyat, President and Executive Director, Viet Ed Center, Vietnam. Ms. Celine Georges-Picot, Head Financial Institutions Debt APAC Responsibility, Hong Kong. Mr. Satish Kumar, AB, Managing Director, Asia and Africa, Delight India. Mr. Ravi Suri, Head Business Development, Cleantech, Evolute Group, India. Mr. Vidya Shankar Krishna, ABP Solar, Havels, India. And Mr. Sahil Khanna, Sales Head, India, Greenlight Planet, India. Well, before we go on into the panel discussion, I'll be requesting Ms. Celine Georges-Picot, Head Financial Institutions Debt APAC, Responsibility Hong Kong, to kindly share her presentation on agribusinesses and energy, how to leverage the synergies with all of us. Let's hear a round of applause for her, please, along with all the panelists on stage.
Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to be here today to introduce our panel on energy. And actually, energy is very present in all the visuals of the MFIN conclave. As you could see on your pages, you could see here, we can see all these small pictograms displaying all the form of renewable energy. So let's talk about energy now. I will focus on the topic of synergies, and more specifically on synergies between agribusinesses and energy. So why synergies? We strongly believe at Responsibility that synergies create opportunities for innovation and ultimately will benefit to the clients. But before I come to that, let me first introduce you to Responsibility. Who are we? So Responsibility is a Swiss-based asset manager. We've been founded in 2003, so we're still a rather young company. We manage $3 billion, and out of it, 80% come from private investors. So here in Asia, we manage $720 million out of our offices in Mumbai, Bangkok, and Hong Kong. So all what we do at Responsibility is under the umbrella of developing investments, meaning that we only invest in developing economies, looking at commercial returns, and all our business line contributes to the Sustainable Development Goals. So we focus on 3 business lines: agriculture, finance, and energy, across 2 asset classes: private equity and private debt. So let me now come to the subject of the presentation today. So energy efficiency in agriculture. So let's start first on agriculture. So I think we would all agree here that being active in agriculture, when we talk about basic needs of poor households, makes a lot of sense. Major part of the population of emerging economies is active in this sector, and agriculture represents 31% of the GDP of emerging economies. There is as well a need of 60% increase of agriculture production in the next decades. So here we have a sector which is very relevant in terms of size, and as well is looking at a significant expansion in the next years. There is as well an interesting link and dependency with energy. Agriculture is the 4th contributor after energy, industry, and forestry to the emission of greenhouse gas. It actually accounts for 10 to 12% of those emissions, and it represents 50% of the methane and nitrous oxide emission. So in the specific case of agriculture, the intensification of agricultural practices to respond to the rising food demand will lead to a further increase of greenhouse gas emission. So it's quite critical to ensure that the agri-food sector develops in a more energy-efficient way to counterbalance the effects of climate change. So what can we do, and what does responsibility does to solve the conflict? So we see opportunities and needs along the whole value chain, from products to distribution and retail. Product first, we could look at manufacturing fertilizer in a more efficient way. At the production level, tractors can be more efficient. Irrigation can be done using solar pumps. And at the processing and logistics level, we can look at more efficient storage. Finally, for distribution and retail, we can look at energy-efficient transportation and cold chain, for instance. So we see investment opportunities being huge on this segment, estimating them at $170 billion per year, and 2/3 of it would come from emerging countries. So it's a key development goal for the future. So how do we structure this financing at responsibility? We advise Global Climate Partnership Fund. It's a public-private partnership dedicated to mitigate climate change through a reduction of CO2 emission by 20%. We do invest indirectly through financial institutions, and we as well do some direct investments through debt, and we finance some products company as part of my fellow panelists, Greenlight. So these are the way we can structure our investment in that sector. So I will now quickly present you few examples. Here in India, GCPF finances RBL Bank, who in turn provides loan to farmers to install drip irrigation systems. So using drip irrigation with solar pumps, irrigation can be done in a more efficient way. Additional advantage is that this irrigation system will generate higher yield for the benefit of the farmer. Another example is now moving to Mongolia. So through a loans to Hasbank, GCPF finances the import and operational costs of the distribution of solar-powered appliances and accumulators, including milking machines for nomadic population. So this program is not only ensuring CO2 emission reduction, but as well improving access to energy for this segment of the population. Last example in Cambodia. So GCPF recently extended a loan to Prazak, a very large microfinance institution, with more than 30% of its portfolio in the agri-sector. So we have currently a technical assistance in progress to determine the eligible projects to generate energy efficiency and reduce CO2 emissions by a minimum of 20%. So we are looking at tractors and hand tillers financing, and those products have already been identified as eligible assets for us to finance. So now to sum up, I hope I could demonstrate how we make the synergies work between agriculture and energy sectors using financial institutions as a catalyst. But more importantly, those investments are creating value for the clients we serve in the form of cost reductions and even revenues increase in some cases. So over the past years, indirectly through our partners, banks and MFIs, and directly, we have been extending 5,700 loans worth $31 million. Total impact of those investments is a reduction of nearly 1 million tons of CO2 over the lifetime of the assets. Now you may say you manage more than $3 billion, but here we are still talking about $31 million. So it clearly shows that we are only at the beginning of our journey, but we are confident that we can achieve a lot with our investments when we bring our three sectors together and have a significant impact. Thank you very much for your attention.
Good afternoon. First, let me address my panelists. I have been told by organizers that we'll have to cut short our time. Okay, so really appreciate if your interventions are a little shorter and to the point. But ladies and gentlemen, we are discussing a very important topic today, especially for this crowd. And I believe this crowd is very important for making sure that the poverty alleviation agenda of this country and for the global south is addressed. Energy is an important part of eradicating poverty in this world. And a lot of people think that there is a weak linkage between poverty and energy. I think that's a wrong notion. There's absolutely very high level of correlation between access to energy and poverty in our part of the world. If you look at India today, we have about 300 million people who don't have access to electricity, close to 700 million people who cook on dirty fuels. And therefore the health implication on cooking on firewood or cow dung is immensely high for the women folk in this country. So energy, which we are going to discuss today, in context of how microfinance institutions can help get energy access to the bottom of the pyramid in this country, is something that we will discuss today. But before I open the panel for discussion, let me give you 3 key trends that is happening right now in energy sector. The first trend is what I call as dawn of decentralized technology. We all have grown up with large thermal power plants, large hydropower plants providing energy to all of us, electricity to all of us. Now the biggest intervention in technology that has happened is in terms of solar panels. Today you don't need large thermal power plant to get you electricity. A poor in a village in India can have a solar panel and get the basic energy need that he wants. So the first trend is we are now moving towards a decentralized technology regime. The second trend that is happening is that electricity is becoming a prime mover. Today the most efficient way to cook your food is electricity, just not LPG. Induction cooking is most efficient as well as the cheapest source to cook food in India. It's just a matter of time. If we can provide electricity to everyone, people will move to induction cooking. With an efficiency of 85% compared to 55% for LPG, induction is also the cheapest, as I said, form of cooking your food. So electricity is going to become the prime mover. In next few years, you will find a lot of electricity two-wheelers coming in the market. The two-wheeler market is going to be electricity. So electricity is the prime mover, going to become the most important prime mover in the future. And third is energy efficiency. Think about buying 60-watt bulbs, and today the same thing is being done by 6-watt bulbs. In fact, even lower. So the third trend in energy sector is energy efficiency. In every segment of appliances and buildings and consumer durables, energy efficiency is improving at a tremendous pace. And therefore, what kind of product the poor will need, considering these 3 trends: decentralization, energy efficiency, and electricity to do everything, is something that we need to discuss today. And I have a great group of people here. We have discussed what they're going to say, but let me start with our guest from Vietnam, Dr. Tuet. And considering that we have 5 minutes, let me just give you 5 minutes. Rest I'm going to give 3 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes to talk about your experience of Vietnam and giving energy access to the poor.
Thank you. And so I try to keep the on time. Okay, so good afternoon, my friends. Okay, thanks so much for your attention with the important topic as our group, our leader just saying. And so I hope these topics can enough interesting to keep you all still be here for food the same. Okay, and so please give for me the blast. Oh, okay. So I would like to say about a little bit let's learn from Vietnam about these topics. The first question: how do you know about the energies in Vietnam right now? Okay, and this question I want to show with you about the four group energies. So right now the Vietnam government focus based on our strategy. The first group we focus to the hydroelectric energies, and because as you know most of the province of Vietnam right now we have the mountains, and right now we implement this energy for 20 provinces. And the second, we focus to the biomass energies, and the most of and the biomass we get from the wood and straw. And as you know, Vietnam is an agricultural country, so we can get this from the rural areas. And the same thing, the third energy, we focus to the biogas energy. And biogas energy, we base on the husbandry sector. And last one, this is a very new sector in Vietnam. It's a new energy in Vietnam right now. This is they are the wind and solar energies. Okay, that is the overview of Vietnam. And so right now, how we can apply for the clean energies in Vietnam. Based on the four group energies, based on our strategy for the green energy for 10 years, up to the 2020, our government focused to the four kinds energies. Also, the first, electricity, we get from white, and focus to focus to the old countries. We implement by the big companies, electricity Vietnam. And the second, we focus to the biogas energies. And this biogas, we also focus to the areas, the rural areas. And also solar energies. So right now we keep with some partners, and so very happy because last 2 years we just keep the MOU with the two key countries focused to invest to the solar energies. The first one in Japan, and the second very happy is the Indians. Yes, and as you know, in Indians and Vietnam, we have the MOU for 11 sector, and it includes energies. And so the white energy, we keep collaborate with the Germany and the Netherlands. And this is also, you can know how we can focus to the green energies in Vietnam. But today, we want to highlight how we can work with the poor group, with the low-income household. And this is the question I want to focus to share with you the two stories based on the two microfinance institutions. Okay, the first one, we have the stories for the biogas energies. This is the projects we implement by the SNB. SNB is the INGO from New Zealand, and they have cooperated with the Agricultural Ministry, and they run the program for 12 years from 2003 to 2015. And we focus to the poor and low-income household in the 58 province of the total 63 province of Vietnam. After the program, we get some the lessons learned from the biogas program. And so right now we keep that model for expanding to another the place in Vietnam through the microfinance institution support to the SMB. Okay, this is one thing. And the second I want to say about my company and the VDD. And we are the MFIs also in Vietnam, but not so big MFI. We are the just small only. And we support to the farmer. And last year we had the innovation program focused to energy, help to farmer can improve their product by the solar dryer. And that's meaning that we support to the client by the loan, and then we help them to improve their product based on the value chain and link the product to the markets, to the local markets first. And we get the success with the areas with some the product as the fruits, the same the pineapple and the bananas and tomato and cassava. And so last year we keep the partner within the companies in India. They call the NRG, the technology is based in Mumbai. We get the model, the solar dryer, very fit with the household. We just get the exactly $900 US for the one household. So that's meaning very fit with their income and based on our loan side. And so this is a innovation program for the solar driver. And so from this year, we also want to expanding to another the brands. And we also get the success that for example, the last 2 years, the farmer only to sell the fruits, pineapple, fresh pineapple. So right now they can design the new products, the dry pineapple by solar dryer. And we get success exactly last 2 months. We just accept in the local markets in Hanoi. And so also the plan we want to expand to another supermarkets in Vietnam. Okay, that is thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's actually quite unfair to my panelists, frankly. Sorry, but I have to say that's unfair. They have come here to share their experience, but I'm going to push you. Okay, Celine, I'm going to get to you later. Satish.
Thank you, Chair. We at Delight, we completely agree with what the Chair has mentioned, that energy is very important and it has a direct correlation with productivity and development. So we have been developing and innovating a lot of products in solar space for the last 10 years. And we actually sell both in Asia and Africa. We strongly believe that, the kind of people who require these solar products, renewable products, are the same target segment as the MFIs are already servicing. All the MFIs are doing a great job in providing affordable financial access to the clients, BOP clients, and we are collaborating with them to provide affordable energy access to the same clients. And in this process, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, we can actually leverage the infrastructure and the outreach of the MFIs. Basically, 3 most important things which MFIs bring to the table in this particular partnership. It's outreach, it is trust of their brand, and third, of course, the engagement levels. On a constant basis, they are dealing with the clients. So, what we as solar energy product company, we do is, we develop innovative products. We also have come up with a robust end-to-end business model to ensure that right from order taking to delivery and payment and also after sales service, everything is taken care so that the MFIs can actually focus on the core business of credit lending. And why do the customers want these products? We believe that energy products, especially these are essential products. These should not be confused with the desirable products which most of the clients may require. We hear that all the products are actually painted in one go saying that these are third-party products. But I think there is a huge difference between a solar product or a cooking, smokeless cooking gas stove as compared to a smartphone or a refrigerator. So these are essential products because they help the customers in terms of providing savings, helping them in their health because they don't have to go through these toxic fumes of kerosene gas, and also for their education of their children. What we do, what we believe is actually there is something called an energy ladder. The first thing is a few years ago, whenever we talked about solar energy, everyone used to think, oh, a huge panel on the rooftop, large batteries, expensive. We don't know whether it will work or not. If it doesn't work, then it's a big risk. So we at Deloitte, we started saying that, okay, the energy ladder consists of, the first step is just providing only light. And then it's light plus mobile charging. And after that, it's a entry-level solar home system. Then you have a solar home system with solar fan, solar TV. Then of course you go for microgrid, mini-grid, and so on and so forth. So last few years, about 3-4 years, we have been working with MFIs in terms of providing access to these solar lanterns which are with light and light plus mobile charging. And I'm glad to say that with the help of all the MFI partners, we actually saw huge success. And in 4 years, we sold to close to about 25 lakh units in India, across various parts of India. And similar success happened in Africa also. So I think as we are innovating products, we are coming up with new products, it's important that now I think most of the people know in rural areas that, okay, what is solar product, what is solar lantern. Now I think slowly they are moving towards solar home systems, and we believe that when the government interventions are coming in with huge solar gigawatt systems, etc., it will be helpful for all the rural folk. So I mean, we love to collaborate with more MFI partners and make sure that all their esteemed clients are offered these products. Thank you.
Thanks, Satish. I just want to also add that there is a government subsidy on solar product for rural poor.
Yeah, these are exactly, they all need to be MNRE certified, etc. So we as a company, we believe that initially we want to be commercially viable, not go through the subsidy route, because we all know that once you get into the subsidy route, there are lots of, systems you have to navigate through, and getting those subsidies are difficult. So if you are commercially viable,
you can, but there is a government support for
absolutely.
it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, let's 5 minutes, set down the issues back. Okay. Ravish, please. And you should be talking about the issues that MFIs have on third-party products.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon to everyone. I guess Chandra has laid the foundation of the need of energy efficient products as we move forward. Today, if you see, with statistics prove that 100 gigawatts of energy is required, and out of which 10 to 15% is more of renewable energy. That's by 2020 we see these figures happening. And by 2040, we anticipate that these figures are going to be in the range of 1000 gigawatts, and renewable energy is going to be contributing close to 432 watts. So this gives a large scope of investment and opportunity for all of us to introduce products and participate in this segment here. Now, we are talking about energy, we are talking more from a renewable approach. Before I start this, I would definitely want to give a background of what Evolute as an organization does, and what is it that we are doing to become more inclusive India. We are a company based out of Bombay with an experience of around 35 years of industry experience. We are into manufacturing of financial technology products, we are into clean tech, we are into health tech, and more on the component front, that is industrial electronics. From a financial perspective, we are already working with a lot of MFIs, wherein we are supporting them with micro ATMs, we're giving them point of sales terminals, we are manufacturing Bluetooth printers, your scanners, different products basically required by MFIs or banks for conducting the business, basically for financial inclusions and reaching out to the people to create more clientele for them as well as for loading up their loan books. Now, from a clean tech perspective, what is it that we do? We are into manufacturing of complex battery packs, so we understand battery as a technology. more from a lithium-ion technology or lithium ferrous phosphate technology. These are complex battery packs which require a lot of protection circuitry. So battery packs could be for applications of e-bicycles, as what Chandra was talking about, because there is going to be a large requirement that is going to come from this segment also. We are doing street lighting, we are doing solar home lighting system, or wherever backup is required, we are into that segment of the system. Now from a forward integration perspective, we thought that why is it that we enter into a product which is required by the off-grid or the rural public, that is solar home lighting systems. So we have also entered and ventured into the solar home lighting system market, which is a more of an integrated solution that we offer. This is a solution wherein we are talking about multiple lights, a light with a fan, or options basically required as by the end consumer. Now we were talking about the POP of balance of bottom of pyramid market, wherein today we are talking about people requiring only basic lighting needs, because they are moving from the basic kerosene lamps into light. And beyond that, they're talking about light and a USB connection. We're talking about the solar home lighting system, which is slightly above this sort of a segment. And this is at a slightly higher price point as compared to your normal products that are available in the market. Now, to reach out to the people, aspiration level, we see that people today who are using just single light or a light with the mobile charging are also looking at how is it that they can get more light, a light and a fan, and how is it that this can be a totally integrated solution. Now this cost of the product is definitely a factor which is not really getting this market to move very fast. This is where we expect that maybe with microfinance could be a supporting side wherein they could lend loans for these particular products and at least meet the aspirational levels of the people that we are talking about. Now, what we have seen is that post demonetization, we see that MFIs are now talking about, there's a pushback from MFIs, reasons could be many, but we see that there's a pushback from MFIs in investing in products which are more of solar. They are looking at products which are more income generating. Now what we believe is that solar home lighting systems enable income generation, and that is why they are very important and should reach out to maximum number of people. And that is where we look for support from the microfinance companies and how they can reach out or they can support with the outreach that they have, the loyalty that they have built in clients, and how is it that they can finance this segment also. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Vidya, and you will talk about innovation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I represent Havells Solar, and Havells got into the solar business about a couple of years back by acquisition of a company called PropTech. And ever since, we have moved into more and more of residential solutions and also solutions for the rural markets. What we stand here for is that we want to be a one-stop solution provider if you're looking at solar, right? What are our products? We have two approaches. Simply, we have one which are our standard products, which could be right from portables to home lighting systems to power packs. How about powering your own offices, right? You have so many offices in the rural areas. You have your own branch offices. So we can give you off-grid systems and we can give you state-of-the-art grid tie systems. So that's something that we can, as I said, we can provide end-to-end solutions. The other thing that we do, or what we excel in, is in actually designing a product whatever you need. We can customize a solution for you, right? We have met so many MFIs and we come across differing needs. And many a time the MFIs are sort of dissatisfied because the product built for somebody is not so relevant to them. They somehow get along. But our strength is to actually customize and tailor-make a solution for you. So we also bring a lot of innovation, right? Innovation in terms of, for example, as a lighting company, we are a very large lighting company. We today believe that the story of wattage is over, right? Today we talk about products, we still talk about a 2 watt, a 7 watt, a 10 watt, lights and so on. That's all gone. Today it's all about lumens and lux. So we are a company that believes in that. We have invested in a huge laboratory with a photometry facility in Imrana. So all our products are actually tested in an NABL tested lab. That's our own lab which is certified, and thereby you get the best efficiency, because Chandra also talked about energy efficiency, and I believe your lighting applications actually are a true demonstration of that. LED paved the way, but now LED with electronics will take it to the next level, right? When I say innovation, right, it's not just innovation that we do in-house, we also collaborate, right? Today I can also tell you, we have collaborated with an Israeli-based company called Solar Edge, a state-of-the-art company which provides your grid tie systems. So this is something for your own offices, right? You get everything about the functioning of the solar system on your mobile phone. Sitting right now, I can track what is the energy generated, which particular solar panel is working, which is not working. So it's basically power in the hands of the user. And what we are doing next is to bring this technology to the household level. Say for example, a customer who's bought a home lighting system. With the power of the Bluetooth, he can start operating the system on his mobile phone. Today mobile phones are reaching virtually to every household. So he can control the functioning of the solar system of his home system by just his mobile phone. He can check the state of the battery, because many a time the batteries are placed in such corners you don't even get to access it. So these are very simple but effective solutions that we are bringing. Another just example that I would like to place across is for one of large government customers. We have now customized, this is again an example of customization, a street light which actually sends out an SMS every day, once in the morning to the customer, informing about the status of the system, because many a time in rural, you just don't know whether the products are working or not working. We can bring that level of customization to any product that we are talking about, right? So that would be our approach. We look forward to sort of collaborate with you, right? We can design a product for you, and we can very proudly say that we can offer to you very, very innovative products, right from some, it could be, as I said, lanterns, it could be even power packs. One example of power packs, we recently had a query from one of the MFIs. They wanted their household to be powered with a 800 VA inverter. When we went and actually studied, we discovered that this could be managed with just a 300 VA inverter. Okay. Now, 300 VA inverters are not so commonly available. So you would end up using 800 VA inverter in your power pack. But here is one company that will actually give you a 300 VA inverter, what actually fits your requirement.
Okay. Thanks. Sahil?
Okay. Thank you all the panelists for putting out and laying down the foundation for this discussion. So Greenlight Planet is currently working with close to 23 MFIs in India and about 60 MFIs across the globe. So we consider ourselves MFI experts. And we also want to help you guys get rid of this apprehension of working with a renewable energy company or working with a solar company. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to take 3 minutes. I'm going to give all of you an example of what apprehensions that we guys usually see from MFIs coming in, that we don't want to work with this company because of XYZ apprehensions. So I'm going to give you guys a solution as to how we are really dealing with this apprehension. Now the first big apprehension that we see from MFIs coming is that creating another product for our MFI customers, is this going to increase our defaults? Are our customers going to start defaulting on loans? So this is one major query that we see. Now the solution for this is that we are working hard and we are striving our best to create excellent quality products. What this means is that we work closely with IFC and World Bank, and we follow the global rating standards. So that really means that there is a product assurance for all of you coming from an institution like World Bank, which certifies our product saying that you're buying a good quality product. That really means that the customers, the MFI customers who are getting the products, they're getting good quality products. And every solar product being an electronic product, it is going to have defects, right? But how we can support that is with a great robust infrastructure and after sales service, giving customer doorstep replacement, customer doorstep level servicing, which is going to give them customer doorstep servicing or replacement within a time of 3 days. So we can create this model for you guys. So that means that having a good quality assurance, having a good product in the market is the first assurance that you guys get, which means that your loans are not going to get defaulted. We have a history of working with MFIs for the last 5 years. We have not seen these cases happening at all. And we're talking about really big players in the market to really small players in the market as well. So we don't really see this thing really happening at all. And plus, over and above this, you're giving out a really good social message to your own customers. It really gives your clients an idea that you guys are promoting social causes. You guys are promoting renewable energy. So if it's doing anything, it is adding to your reputation. It is adding to what you guys are doing in the field. It's eventually an income generating activity. As all the other panelists mentioned, solar products are helping you in saving on expenditures. It is helping you increasing your income by lowering down on the expenditures that you have on electricity, on health hazards, on different things. So this is the answer to the first question. Second question is tying up with any other product company or a solar company going to hamper our reputation? Now again, you are dealing with multinational companies here. So what that means is that, for example, Greenlight Planet is present in 64 countries across the globe. And we've designed our products in a way, and we've designed our services in a way that we are a brand now. That means you guys can proudly associate with us as a really good brand that is working with you and imparting this social message in the field. Also, another point on this that all the MFIs really question is the product going to be right for the customers? I think Vidya raised this question up on product innovation. It's very important. We guys should not be enforcing products to the clients. We are all very ethical organizations. We don't want our customers to be affected because we are pushing the wrong product out in the field. As Satish also rightly mentioned, there is a need for an energy ladder. We've been working on that ladder. We have already been able to impart close to 100,000 home systems across the country for the last 2 years. That means there is a demand. This has been across the country. This has been with partners, big banks like Bandhan, BFIL, a lot of these MFIs sitting here as well. So they've been able to impart the right products to the right customers. Now some customers don't really want a singular lantern, right? Like they want something new. They want something which is different from what is present in the field. We recently launched a new product which is called Sun King Boom. So what that product gives you is that one solar lantern, it's not just giving you light, it is giving you an inbuilt FM radio with a music system, with a way to use that music system through an auxiliary input, micro SD slot, etc., etc. So what that's giving you is a source of entertainment. Now people in rural areas, yes, lighting is a basic need, but they also want something over and above this, which is actually helping them out in meeting their other demands as well. Now the final thing is that we don't want to disrupt our core business. I think everyone understands that MFI's core business is to give out loans. We understand that too. So this comes in as a secondary thing to you, which you might not be wanting to entertain, which is a very, very clear, understandable apprehension. Now, we've again been able to create models wherein all we want from you guys is channel access. We take care of everything else, from product procurement to managing training on the field, to after-sales service, to dealing with customer grievances. So I think just to finish this off in one point is that we are here to deal with all your apprehensions. We are here to clear everything out for you, and we want you guys to reach the right customers and contribute to renewable energy in a big way and contribute to electrifying your own clients, making them as happier customers in the right way possible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Celine, you will talk about holistic approach, and I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay.
I'll do that. Thank you. No, as Satish mentioned, there is a strong need for the sector for sustainable financing. Subsidized funding is important, but wouldn't allow the sector to truly scale up. So we are very proud to finance Greenlight, and we are looking at much more opportunities. And in terms of holistic approach, so what does it mean for us as an asset manager? So we are really willing to bring the private investors to the topic. We as well has a private-public partnership through the GCPF fund. Our scope is not only renewable energy, as well energy efficiency, access to energy. We are doing this through direct investment and as well partnering with financial institutions and microfinance institutions. So the end clients benefiting from this funding are poor households, micro-entrepreneurs, SME, and corporates. So I think really the need here is to open a window for green lending. Demand is huge, and we can generate synergies through our clients and as well across different geography.
Thank you. Let's give a big hand to all the panelists. Thank you very much.
Let's have a huge round of applause, especially for the moderator. Thank you very much, sir. You managed this perfectly with so many panelists right here. And of course, a round of applause for all our panelists. I understand we are short on time in terms of questions, but you can always take them offline. I'll request Mr. Kamlesh from our team member, SRO, MFIN, to kindly present a memento to all our speakers on stage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the applause is needed, of course.